Hello again. So at this point, I know all of you have been watching our videos. I know you've been following all our advice. So you've been exercising at least 30 minutes a day like Dr. Josh has been talking. You've made your workspace, your home workspace, more ergonomically correct. I know you've adapted some new hobbies, all of that. So what I want to talk about today is sleep. And so I know initially I heard a lot of people were maybe going to bed 3, 4, 5 hours later than normal, sleeping in because they didn't have to get up at a specific time to do their work. Maybe their particular school, you didn't have to get up at a certain time to get on Zoom or whatever it might be. So maybe that was a lot of fun in the beginning, but at this point in time, you might be noticing that your body's, doesn't feel as good, or mentally you're not feeling quite as good. So I want to talk a few things about sleep. The first thing is I want to make sure everybody's getting their 7 to 8 hours. Or if you're a teenager or you're the parent of a teenager, you can let them have a little bit more. 9's fine. There's a lot going on with their bodies. So that's the first thing. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Beyond that though, I would really encourage people, especially as things are starting to open up next week, to try to get back on to a closer schedule to what you had before. And a lot of that has to do with what we call circadian rhythms, which I'm not going to go into a lot of detail in. I'll let you do that on your own. You can Google it. But as a basis though, it's this idea that your body performs certain tasks at certain times during the day, and also your body is more susceptible to having certain issues at certain times of the day as well. So your body gets used to this cycle, especially when you set up a specific sleep-wake cycle of your own, because there's no specific time frame for everyone. It's kind of more of an average. But when your body gets used to that, your particular cycle, sometimes it has an issue when you change that up, especially when you do it drastically. You start going to bed 3 or 4 hours later than normal because you're binge watching Tiger King. That's what Kim's doing. So whatever you might be binge watching, you're staying up way later. Your body has to try to adapt to that, and sometimes it doesn't go so well. So that's the other thing. Now, if you're someone who actually has trouble sleeping or going to sleep, that's another thing as well. I know in the past we've gone over a lot of different tips, and that's something you can ask us about. A few examples are your room temperature, keeping that at a certain level. There's things like setting up a routine before bedtime. I know a lot of times we do this for our children, but we don't necessarily have our own type of routine. That can help. And then if you're one of those people who goes to bed or they lay down and all of a sudden their mind starts racing, we have ideas like having a notebook and a pen to write all that stuff down, which tends to help your mind relax a little bit and get to sleep. So those are the things. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, the 7 to 8 hours, or 9 if you're a teenager. Trying to get back to more of a normal sleep schedule, which I know, I have a high schooler at home. If you have a high schooler or college student, I know that's going to be tough, but if you can maybe try to provide some incentive to getting up a little bit earlier, going to bed a little earlier, I would try that. And then once again, if you have any questions, if you have trouble sleeping, make sure you let us know and we can talk about that as well. And that's all I have for today. So we'll see you next week.